Welcome to the KMC Connect webinar on custom applications. We're really excited to have you here. Happy Friday, everyone, and thanks for sticking with us. My name is Andrew Reynolds. I am the video producer here at KMC Controls, and today I have Tom Joslin, our resident building genius. He's the manager of technical sales. He will be working with KMC Connect today and showing us the ropes. And again, I just wanted to remind everyone, if you have any questions, feel free to ask those. I know I asked for them just a little bit ago, but as we go, things come up, just type them in and we'll try to address those as we go. So with that, we're going to try to go ahead and jump on in. I'm going to get Tom presenting here on custom applications.
Today we're going to talk a little bit about one of the things in Connect that we get a lot of questions about, and I think is probably one of the best tools we have on here, and it's custom applications. So people want to build their library of custom applications. So we have probably 500 some odd applications of our own that we write, but as you know, in a 5901 controller, those come blank, right? So you've got to essentially make something to go inside those. So what we're going to do today is kind of step through how to do that process. So I'm in Connect. I'm going to go up here to our Applications tab, and I'm going to hit Selection first, just because I want to show you what this looks like. So it's going to load my application library. And this is where I was talking about where there's some 500 different applications that we have to choose from. So this is the KMC application library. Now we're going to make our own application library. So you would have one that's called and as this is loading, what we're going to do is I want to show you what this looks like, so that as we go through this process, we'll kind of flip back and forth between this screen and the other screen so you can see what it is we're doing. Now this also ties in with the audit. So as we make our custom application, we're going to choose what things we want to audit. So up until now, if you don't have anything in a custom application, the only thing that you could audit was something in our application library. Well, if you do something in the custom app library, then you'll be able to audit your own things as well. Okay, so here's our application selection, and this is the filter. So what we're essentially going to do with our custom app is we're going to add your application into a filter. So once you start getting more and more and more programs in your library, you'll be able to filter out your own library as well as our library. And you'll be able to add documentation. So this is where you have all the documentation. So if you have your own company in-house documentation for your programs with your wiring diagrams, submittal drawings, and sequences and so forth, so that'll all be in there as well. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to back up here to the under the Applications tab, and there's a button called Custom Wizard. So we'll click on the Custom Wizard. Now it's going to load some applications in there as well that I've already done. So so now you get this screen on the Custom Application Wizard. So there's really nothing on here that you can do. There's only one thing to do, and that's highlighted. And it says select one controller from Network Manager or Resource Manager by drag and drop to the workspace. So I can pick something from over here on my live network, or I can come over here to my resource manager that I've already made and drag and drop it from there. Here's the catch. So if you were to drag and drop it from a live network, what it's going to do is it's going to make a backup of that right away when you do that, and then it's going to add it. So it's going to take a little bit longer to do it from a live network. You're best to save one of these controllers over here in a job file somewhere, and then pull it from your resource manager. It's going to be a little bit quicker for you. So I've already got a program over here. It's called Program 2, AHU. So we're going to drag and drop this guy. We're going to put him right, and the only place you can put it is right up here in your network manager or custom application wizard. I dragged the wrong thing, sorry. You want to drag the whole controller up there, not just the program, I'm sorry. So it's trying to find anything that matches it, which there isn't. So now you've got the application name, you've got an application ID, we've got a library name, and a unit type. So let's change some of this. So we're going to make it custom. So our application name, we could call this an AHU with a constant fan. Modulating heating, modulating cooling, econ. Now, library name. So this is what's going to show up under your where you're going to find it. So let's make a new library name. We'll call it mine, because it's mine. Unit type. Now this says a rooftop unit with floor heat. Now we can just go rooftop unit AHU. If you don't like one of these choices, so that one just says AHU, we can just pick AHU, that's fine, because that's basically what it is. But if you wanted to make a new unit type, like a, vertical unit or something like that, you can certainly change whatever you'd like in there. Now, application ID. Now, within our own applications, we've got some cryptic code for application ID that probably only a couple people understand what it means. So you can make an application ID on your own. So let's say you have your company's got 5 different kinds of air handler programs that you use. 3 different kinds of VAV programs you use. So you could just say AHU version version 3. Something that gives you an idea of what that guy is. Now, if you want to include your own documents, you can make sure you check that. Now, if we were doing VAV, if we had chosen VAV over here, you could include a VAV balancing and VAV configuration to this as well. Now, features. So this is where you go through and pick what is going to be in that filter. Remember that long filter we looked at over here in the application section? The feature selection filter, all of this stuff. All right. So we're going to add that stuff in here. So we're going to click select. And then you check mark all of the features that are in this custom program that you've made. So it's in English, configurable, programmable. It's programmable. It's not a VAV, it's not a constant air volume, it's not a VAV reheat. So we'll just go through here and pick which ones. Does it have a real-time clock? Sure. Is it backnet? Sure. Constant fan. We said cooling type was modulating, heating type was modulating. Now, there's all these different choices in here for cooling type and heating type. What if I needed a different one? Well, I'll show you how to do that in a second. Economizer, yep, we got that. Occupancy control, nope, no. No humidity control. No integrated sensors. Now you can even go as far as say 2-pipe, 4-pipe, binary modulating, floor heat, which is another thing program I've added. So there's constant volume. So, there's a VFD. See, these are things that I've added into my own custom stuff. So we'll hit OK. So now these are all the features that are going to be in for this particular air handler. Now, I was saying earlier, if you wanted to add something to this, so if I had heating type, or if I just wanted to say new, I could put like a miscellaneous category and add like an exhaust fan. I hit OK. And if I wanted to go to the heating type, let's just say gas fired. Now, supported models. So this program is particularly going into a 5901C. So we also have a BAC 5901CE for you Ethernet folks out there who like those Ethernet controllers. They're smoking fast. Hit OK, because it'll go in both of those. Now you can add some user notes. Tom made this program. So use with caution. Gosh, I can hear the laughter over the internet. That's crazy. Application description. So this is where you can go as crazy as you'd like to on the application description. We kind of did that in the application name, but you can add some more information of what it's doing in here and be as descriptive as you want. So HU with constant fan, modulating heating, modulating cooling, econ, control, okay. So now we're going to hit next. Ooh, this is an interesting page. So let's go back to our application selection. So if I was doing this as on a real job, I hit next. So all of these items up here at the top, the active cooling set point, the active heating set point, All of these things can be set before I deploy this out in the field, right? So I've got all these set points up here. So this is where I can change or add all of these here. These are all the things I want to add to that screen in my custom application wizard. So this is also where I say what I want to audit. So if I want to audit all of these points, set points, so we're going to go through and occupied cooling set point. So if I click on the configuration, it automatically adds those to the audit. Occupied heating set point, unoccupied. So we'll just go through and pick most of our set points out of here. Until you get to all the ones that you want. Now, I will say there's a little add button down here at the bottom. So if you wanted to add your own object reference to this page right here, you could add something custom in here. And let's say somebody would absolutely change the name of HU1 to HU3 somewhere down the road. You could put that in the column to audit. So if somebody would change something later and you went and did an audit, it would show up as that they've changed that. So let's hit the next button. Now this is where you would add your documentation. So if you've got some wiring sheets, you've got some PDFs, you've got all that information that you want to add, this is where you would add that. So we're going to hit save. Hit OK. We're going to hit close. So now we've made a custom application. Now let's go back in. I'm going to close this application configuration and we're going to open it up again. So now under library name, I've got several to choose from here. There's the KMC standard library. So there's the one I made called Tom's. And there's an application. So there's the HU version 3, there's an English. So these are all the things that we checked, remember? Now, obviously there's not a lot to filter out because I only have one program in my custom application library so far. But if I had 5 different air handlers, several different rooftop units, the more you add, the more you're going to have to filter through. Makes sense. So we've added all these things. Now let's see, I added some stuff. Remember I added that gas fired and modulating down here, right? I also added that miscellaneous exhaust fan. So this is what it looks like when you go through and do it after you've made your library. Application details. So it gives you the supported models. Remember we put that in. Gives you an application description that we did and the application ID. The user notes. So we're going to add this to our job. So I'm in this job, training 1. So in my job I can have stuff from the KMC application library, I can have stuff from the Training 1 library. It just doesn't matter what library I choose from. Sorry, my computer's slow this morning. We had to change computers midstream, so there's all the things that we chose up at the top that if we wanted to, when we made those different selections and so forth. Those are all the set points we can change that we picked. Now, if I had several of these air handlers, obviously I could highlight that and add 2 more, hit create device template. So now I've got HU 1, 2, and 3. So now I could deploy all of these. Obviously I don't have 3 right now, but that's how it works, going through setting up a custom template.
We do have a couple questions. Sorry about that audio bug. What controllers can you use this on? Custom apps in general.
Yeah, so good question. You can actually use this on any kind of controller on the Conquest line. So, we're using this on the 5901 right now because the 5901 doesn't come with any canned applications. So that's probably the one that gets used on the most, but you can use this on any Conquest line.
Awesome. We also had a question, can I do this in Converge?
It cannot be done in Converge yet, which Converge is our Niagara solution. We are working on that right now, so it's going to be coming out at some point, but not yet.
And then another one, can we use line and block editor with custom apps?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, you can use, like if you look on the screen here, I've got this particular one is set points and modes. One that I've made, it's in line, and then the second one is actually in block. So, yep, absolutely, doesn't matter.
And then I know we also had a question about PDF files, if we were able to upload those anywhere
Yeah.
specifically.
Yes, under the documentations where it says add documents, those can be Word files, PDFs, DWG, so it'll accept all of those.
Very good. And then the last question we had was on in the features when you're making your menus and filters.
Yeah.
Can you add specific different ones under those? Can
Yep.
you make your own custom? Everything's
You can make
customizable.
anything you want. I hope this was helpful to you guys. If anybody wants to email or have questions more, please get a hold of us. That'd be great. All right, and then before we leave, guys, I just wanted to update you on a few things here. Wanted to reiterate that we do have a new 7-inch touchscreen display. You can learn more about that on our blog and YouTube. It's a great tool. You can load a lot of our applications into that, and it gives you great usability and visibility. We also have more videos on our KMC Commander 2.0. We're always updating that on our YouTube channel, so be on the lookout for that. There's in-depth tutorials on taking every little step of the way to getting your IoT solution set up. And then I just wanted to also let you know that all of these webinars, I know we get asked this a lot, are published onto YouTube as well. So you can check those out. We'll have this webinar on YouTube. We're also going to have a fixed version of the audio for you and without the little hiccups that we've experienced today. And we really appreciate you sticking with us on this through our little bit of technical issues. And we just want to thank you again for being great partners and joining us for this webinar today. And we want you to have a great day, have a happy Friday, and enjoy the weekend.